Prepare all posts and mounting surfaces before railing installation. Establish the level placement of the lower rail so that there is no more than a 4-inch space from the bottom of the rail to the standing surface. Mark the post or mounting surface at this dimension to determine the bottom rail height. Measure the finished opening space between the surfaces where the railing is to be installed. And mark the bottom beam, the beam with no routed holes, to match this measurement. Place the bottom rail across the opening where the railing is to be installed and measure from the mounting surface to the first baluster hole on each end and adjust until these dimensions are equal. Trace the post edge onto the bottom rail at each end. Ensure all mounting surfaces are plumb. Transfer your measurements and baluster layout from the bottom rail to the top beam, ensuring that the baluster slots are aligned. Cut the top beam, and bottom rail at the lines marked. Insert the mounting brackets in each end of the bottom beam. Align the bracket with the end of the beam. Measure 1 inch from the back of the beam on the inside side of the rail only, and secure number 6 by 3/4 inch set screws into the beam. This will secure the beam and the bracket together. Repeat this step for top beam. If using a trim ring, install over the post now. Align the bottom of the beam with the marks determined earlier. Secure the lower bracket and the beam to the post using 6 number 10 by 2.5 inch mounting screws, 3 per bracket. Begin with the bottom center screw to avoid misalignment. Cut the bottom rail support to the bottom space and place it under the bottom beam at the center point. Pre-drill using a 1/4 inch drill bit through the beam. Screw through the bottom beam and bottom rail support into the standing surface with the number 12 by 5 inch screws provided. Do not over-tighten. Snap the bottom rail over the bottom beam. Insert a baluster into each slot of the bottom rail. Baluster plugs are pre-installed in the baluster for easy assembly. Align the bottom baluster plugs in the same direction when installing the bottom rail. This will allow the balusters to lean in the same direction and help during the installation of the top beam. Place the top beam into position and align the top of the baluster plugs with the routed slots and snap into place. Secure the upper bracket and beam to the post using 6 number 10 by 2.5 inch mounting screws, 3 per bracket. Begin with the bottom center screw to avoid misalignment. Apply downward pressure to the top of the beam over top of the first 2 balusters adjacent to the bracket while securing bottom center screw. This will seat the balusters against the beam and the bottom rail. Set the bracket screw alignment tool next to the rail post. Using a 1/8 inch drill bit, drill from the top of the tool through the top bracket and beam. Repeat on the other end of the rail. If needed, an additional rail stiffener can be purchased separately and installed in place inside of the top rail. Measure for length and cut the top rail and the optional stiffener. Snap the top rail onto the top beam. Work from one end of the rail to the other until the full length of the top rail locks into place. Using the number 10 by 2-inch painted screws, install 2 of the screws upward from underneath through the pre-drilled location. This will secure the bracket, beam, and top rail together. Repeat for the other end of the rail. Apply a few small beads of silicone adhesive to the underside of the post cap and place on top of the post sleeve.